everyone, my name is Kirsten Chamberlain. I'm a senior pre-vet major here at OSU. So for our individual project, I decided to look at the side of equine reproduction, as that's what I hope to do after I graduate college. So my question for our paper is, how can the quality of Frozen Stallion semen be improved? So before we get into the nitty-gritty of stuff and how it can actually be improved, I wanted to go over what frozen semen is and why it's so important to us. So freezing semen is actually called cryopreservation, and what we do is we mix the semen with an extender before we put it through the really low temperatures to actually freeze it, and the extenders help it last longer and flourish after we thaw it. So frozen semen is one of three options. You can use fresh semen, cooled semen, and frozen semen. Freezing semen allows us to do so much more with it than just keeping it fresh. With frozen semen, you can keep it indefinitely, you can keep it way longer than fresh semen, and you can ship it long distances because of being able to keep it longer. So we can ship it across borders, we can ship it across countries. For example, I'm from Canada, and what we do a lot is we receive frozen semen from other places in the States, or we'll ship it away. And without freezing it, this wouldn't be possible. So freezing semen allows us to expand the breeding industry. So looking at the quality of frozen semen, as you would assume, the quality of frozen semen is much lower from fresh semen because of all the stress it's been under. So through freezing semen, it's put under thermal stress, of course, because of the extremely low temperatures, osmotic stress due to the different solutions, and then oxidative stress, and because of the reactive oxidative species that get created while it's frozen and thawing. Also, through freezing it, we're seizing the metabolic activity. So all the mitochondria, all that stops, and then once it's thawed, it starts up again, and this can cause damage. And through all these processes, it can cause damage to the tails, the acrosomes, the membranes of the cells, all of the parts that cause the cell to function properly. So the first method I looked at was a study done by M. Rodriguez in 2011, and they looked at using different extenders. So the goal of this was to reduce the osmotic stress. So they looked at the permeation, and with permeation, you want more permeation than less. So when the solution can permeate the cell membrane faster, it allows this cell to equalize faster to the solution, so it doesn't swell as much, it doesn't shrink as much, so less damage is caused to the sperm cell itself. The different extenders that were used was the Ghent extender, which is more of a commercial extender, INRA 96, which is 2% egg yolk and 2.5% glycerol. The Caceres extender, which is the one they were really looking at, the one they kind of developed themselves, was 1.5% glycerol and 1.5% dimethylformamide. So looking at the results of this, Caceres definitely came out on top. It was much better overall. It had the most improvement on the sperm than the other two extenders. And this was due to less osmotic stress, due to more permeation, like I said before. And what happened in the Caceres is there's less glycerol. And glycerol has a really high molecular weight. So a high molecular weight doesn't allow it to go through the cell as fast, so that's a slower permeation. So the dimethylformamide and the lower amount of glycerol in the Caceres allowed it to permeate faster and allowed the cell to adjust faster to the solution rather than causing damage. Also, they looked at the amount of live intact acrosomes after thawing. So Caceres compared to Ghent, there's 14% more, and Caceres compared to INRA 96, there's 11% more live intact acrosomes present. And also looking at total motility, which is what I looked at a lot and which is what all the studies looked at because it's a huge deal to do with sperm quality. So on the graph here, total motility is the first line, and you can see the Caceres and the Ghent, there's about an 11% increase in total motility when you use the Caceres rather than the other ones, and about a 12-13% increase when you use Caceres over INRA 96. So the next method I looked at was also done pre-freeze, and what it was adding an enzyme, and this enzyme was oxyrase. An oxyrase is derived from E. coli. So the goal of oxyrase was to decrease the amount of reactive oxidative species, which causes the oxidation of the sperm, and also just overall lower the amount of oxygen present through the freezing, through the thawing process, all those things. So these were tested using different amounts. They tested using 0.6, 1.2, 2.4, and 5 units per milliliter of oxyrase. So looking at the results, CDAR found out that, she found this out at UCLA too, the samples that were treated with 2.4 units per milliliter showed way more improvements to the quality of the semen than the rest. And you can see this in the graph. This is, again, total motility, which I said before is really important. and 2.4 right here is higher than the rest of them. Even though it's supposed to decrease the amount of reactive oxidative species, it didn't, but just overall lowering the amount of oxygen present did help improve the quality. Looking at numbers, about 69% of total motility was preserved post-thaw, and about 98% of progressive motility was preserved post-thaw, which are all really good improvements to the semen itself. So the next method I looked at was the addition of pentoxaphylline, caffeine, and taurine. And this was done by T. Stevens at Virginia Tech in 2013. So pentoxaphylline and caffeine are methylxanthine derivative phosphodiester inhibitors. And what this does is it increases the amount of glycolysis in the cells, and by increasing the amount of glycolysis, you increase the amount of ATP produced for the sperm cells to use as energy, which can help improve the motility of the sperm cells. Taurine is a beta amino acid, so this acts as an antioxidant, helps reduce the oxidative stress that the semen and the sperm cells experience, so this will hopefully help improve the quality. These compounds, much like the oxyrays, were tested at different amounts as well. So the results of this, pentoxaphylline was definitely the best out of the three. It had the most improvement, most total motility was kept, about 6% increase in total motility comparing to the rest when looking at pentoxaphylline, and about 4% increase with the caffeine. Taurine actually had a 1.5% decrease in total motility, so that one wasn't good. But through doing this study, they found that taurine actually helps cooled semen, not frozen semen. But for this research project, I was looking at frozen semen. So the way that caffeine and pentoxaphylline helped was by increasing the ATP, like I said before, more energy, more motility, better quality. Taurine, again, only benefited the cool semen because it didn't really do much to the semen when it was thawing. Here's the graph, and I don't know if I said before, but these were all added post-thaw, so they are added after the semen was thawed, not before like the other ones. In the graph here, again, looking at total motility, this is total motility. These are the different compounds that were added. Pentoxaphylline at 42 is much higher than the rest that were at 32 and 39. So the last one that I looked at was a study done in Brazil by Freitas and Rodriguez. They did two different studies. This was the addition of polyunsaturated fatty acids to the diet as well as antioxidants to the diet. And this, instead of added to the semen directly, this was added to the diet of the stallions. So the horse ate it, and then it helped improve the semen that it produced. So this polyunsaturated fatty acids, also called PUFAs, these are overall supposed to help the function of the sperm and help improve the membrane of the sperm cells. And polyunsaturated fatty acids are actually naturally found in semen, but adding the supplement just boosts its ability to help it out. Antioxidants, like we all know, helps reduce the oxidation. It reduces the amount of peroxyl radicals. So overall, both of these supplements will help reduce the thermal stress, oxidative stress, and osmotic stress. Just all of them together help improve the quality of the semen. So the results of this, Rodriguez did the addition of just a polyunsaturated fatty acid to the diet instead of both, and he found that there was an 8.7% increase in the motility and quality of the sperm. And then Freitas added polyunsaturated fatty acid and an antioxidant to the diet, and this resulted with a 4.9% increase in motility. So overall, these both had good improvement in quality, motility, but they were a little different. This can be due to different methods used, different temperature, different time of year, different semen samples, all of the above, but overall they did a good job at improving it. So these are the graphs that go with it. This is just the polyunsaturated fatty acid control group, and I mean you can see there's about a 12% difference in the motility, and that's a great improvement for semen quality. Polyunsaturated fatty acid and antioxidant, again, about a 10% increase, which is really good. It's shown in this graph for total motility. Summarizing all the results, the ones that had the most improvement on the sperm overall. So with improving the quality of the sperm, it helps improve pregnancy rates, success rates of the frozen semen, which allows the industry to grow even more, because improving the quality of the frozen semen help raise it up to the level of fresh semen, although it'll never get to the same, or it may, but not for a while. But still improving it helps improve the quality and the uses of the frozen semen. So Caceres extender, oxyrays, the enzyme really helped. Caffeine, pentoxaphylline, polyunsaturated fatty acids and antioxidants added to the diet. These ones all helped improve the quality of the semen. The ones that didn't, the Gent extender didn't really have much of a difference on it. The INRA 96 extender didn't really improve the quality too much, and the taurine actually decreased the quality of the semen overall. These are my sources I used for my project. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to answering all your questions.